All right, folks, how we doing? Saturday, January 17th, 2026. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. It's good to be back with you here. I want to thank Franklin for his continued support. I want everybody to say thank you, Franklin. And then we got support also from Tony. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you, brother. So we have $100. We've already raised a good deal of money this week for our goal of the week. So we only have $100 to raise by Tuesday. So I can keep my temporary living place and not be on the street. Wow. I have to say, this current Spellcasters revival that's going on makes me very happy, and I haven't had a lot of happiness in my life, so thank you again to I Can't Even Productions for those AI videos. Those have been the most impactful thing to my work, that's happened to my work in many years, and I thank you for it. There's a third one that just came out. They're all great. I mean, you know, they're all extremely well done. The only criticism I would have, not a criticism, but I would have added if I'd made it, well, in this newest one, this third one, because there's, if you'll notice, I don't want to give it away, I'll let you watch it, but there's a sort of a, well, not sort of, there is, it's a theme of a dove, white dove, that permeates this entire new video. And you see Freddie Mercury appear in this video again. Well, that's my criticism. You should have had a clip or an AI version of the clip from the song Save Me, the video for the song Save Me by Queen. Because there's a white dove in that video, both an animated one and a real one at the end that you see Freddie Mercury reaching out to grab. That's, God, I can't tell you how many breakups that song got me through. When I was a teenager and shit in the early 20s, Save Me is the name of the song. It's a song written by Brian May. It's one of the most beautiful ballads I think ever. And then Freddie Mercury just, brings it on home with that one in a trillion voice of his. But yeah, that would have been the only thing I said I would have done on that third one. Since you had it's just kind of a wasted opportunity to have that theme of the white dove permeate that entire video, and then you don't have the video from a clip or an AI version of the clip from the video for the song Save Me by Queen, which is, has white dove symbology through the entire video. As I said, both in an animated version and in a real dove. Yeah, I've seen the behind the scenes stuff where they were trying to shoot that with the white dove, and at one point Freddie, his famous mic stand, his half mic stand that he had, at one point the dove's flying by, and Freddie takes the mic stand and makes it like a shotgun and shoots it. It's fucking hilarious. It's a behind the scenes thing with that from the video for Save Me by Queen. But yeah, it would be cool to see. That's my only criticism. If you would have had an AI version of Freddie and the Dove from the Save Me video, and the video would have sealed it. It's great. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not really a complaint, it's just an oversight. Not everybody knows every second of everything Queen has ever done like I do. I understand. But great stuff, and the only thing I would say about this current revival going on is that most people are just buying Volume 1, but not buying any of the other volumes. Well, there's none of the music stuff that you see in the people you see in these videos. And people have already complained to me about that. Look, I didn't make the video. I didn't tell people, insinuate, it's just it's people's fault. Nobody's fault. But if you bought Volume 1 expecting to see the people that you see in these videos, none of the music stuff comes until Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5. Volumes 2 through 5 have all the music stuff. Volume 6 is comedy. Volume 1 is about who controls Hollywood. So, keep that in mind if you are considering purchasing the Spellcasters, or you've already purchased it. I've seen people complaining already about it. It's not his fault. I've seen people complaining about it already. I got a Spellcaster, there wasn't nothing in it that was in those videos, those AI videos I saw. Right, but it is in the film series. And you have to see the other 9 fucking volumes that I spent years working on. I mean, that's my life work, folks. You have no idea how many years, hours, months, days, dollars were put into the creation of that thing. When I see people calling it, or emailing me or comments on it, when I see people call it the greatest documentary series ever, that's because it is. Now, if I say that, it just sounds like ego and hubris, and because I made it, right? Of course I'm going to think it's the best. But when other people say it, that's when it has weight. And many people have said that. So, again, I think it is, but what I think doesn't matter. It matters what the people think. But if you want, again, I'm going to repeat it again. If you want to see the music stuff and the people that are shown in these AI videos by I Can't Even Productions, you have to see volumes 2 through 5 of the Spellcaster series and Faul the movie. If you've seen all the Spellcasters movies, the next movie I'd go to after that would be Replaced Beyond Faul, which, by the way, has been reduced in cost in the download store. That film cost a lot to make, so it had to be priced as such when it came out. But it's now been reduced. So if you didn't see Replaced Beyond Faul because you thought it was cost prohibitive, you can now own that film, the standard HD definition version, for $15. Was $25. So there you go. After you see Replaced, if you haven't seen my 9-hour 5-part Mystery Hollywood series that I did, the greatest thing about that, not only my decoding of this film Under the Silver Lake, it's like that movie was made for me to decode. I felt that when I saw it. But there's no script to this thing. When I make a movie, I write a script. And it takes the longest for me to do. Editing and all that shit's easy. Writing is the toughest part of making a film. But with the 9-hour Mystery Hollywood series, that's all off the dome. There's not a single scripted moment in that entire 9-hour presentation. That's off the dome, straight raw, no research, just boom, boom, boom. And it ties in with Spellcaster stuff. So, yeah, if you've seen Spellcasters, then that's your next watch is after that. is, and you've seen Faul, the movie, of course, replaced Beyond Faul and Mystery Hollywood. The remastered version, which came out last year, of the 9-hour Mystery Hollywood series, it's only $30 in the download store, so go get it. So, I don't know if you guys may, some of you may know who this person is, but I know about him, of course, because he's from my area. We don't get a lot of platinum selling artists, musical artists that come out of the DF Dub, so if and when one does, it's big news here. Gentleman, back in 2015, a gentleman by the name of Leon Bridges. He's a neo-soul singer. He's a young guy, but he sounds like the old school 60s R&B, which is my favorite. Like Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, that kind of shit. I love that kind of 60s soul. He's like a new version of that. He's from Fort Worth. Leon Bridges. My mom's a fan. I mean, that tells you how. I mean, he's Grammy nominated. I mean, he's a big star. And, a great singer. 2 nights ago, Leon Bridges bought the full 9-film Spellcasters collection. Yeah, for real. I saw the name come in, right? This is some inside baseball shit here. So the name came in, the sale came in, and I saw the email. And the name, I always look at the names to see if it's somebody I recognize, or if I don't recognize the name, I know that's a new person. So I didn't recognize this name, so I knew it was a new person. But when I saw the name, I went, wait a second, Todd Bridges. Listen, motherfucker, I'm a kid of the 80s. All right? And in the 80s, network television was king. You had 3 channels, and that was it. Network television was king, so I watched every show in the 80s. And there's only one Todd Bridges that I know of. What you talking about, Willis? Yeah, Willis from Different Strokes. Todd Bridges. I thought he was dead. He's not. He's still alive. So I was like, did fucking Willis just buy my Spellcaster series off of? I was laughing. It wouldn't be the strangest fan I have that's famous. No, that goes to Peter Stormare. You know who Peter Stormare is? We cut off your Johnson, Lebowski. We cut off your Johnson. Uli the nihilist from Big Lebowski. Yeah, he's a fan. Yeah. But anyway, I took the email address that the buy came in from, and I did a reverse, look up on the email address, and sure enough. And then I was shocked what came up. Like, wait a minute, this is not Todd Bridges. That's Leon Bridges. So I went to his Wikipedia just to do a quick check on his full name. And there it is. Todd Leon Bridges. He goes by Leon Bridges' stage name, but his actual first name is Todd Bridges. Is Todd. Yeah, it all checks out. Check the email, checks out everything. Platinum selling Columbia Records recording artist and Grammy nominee. That definitely takes the cake for my most famous fan, or I don't know if he's a fan, but my most famous person that I know of that's ever bought my films. I've been told that there are some big names who are fans of mine, but they won't make themselves known. They use fake names and stuff because they Don't want anybody to know they're a fan of mine. Yeah, whatever. Boy, I'm definitely going to be following the career of Leon Bridges at this point. I mean, I think he's good. I was, following his career, though. I will be now. Because I'm telling you right now, this guy watches the full 9-film Spellcasters collection that he bought. There's definitely going to be something, a line, a lyric, something that permeates his next album. So I'll definitely be paying attention to his next album, waiting for that. Shout out to Leon Bridges, man. I know you'll probably never hear this, but on the off chance that you do, you're amazing, sir. If you ever need a drummer, producer, anything, let me know. I made an album in 2022 where I played all the instruments. Guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, singing, did all the production, even the mastering. Because I'm a mastering engineer as well. So yeah, man, I play guitar, I play bass, I play drums. Drums is my strongest instrument, bass is my second strongest, but if you ever need anybody, Leon, let me know. I'm in Dallas, I need a gig, so. But yeah, just amazing, and I hope you, the thing about the Spellcasters films that I don't think people quite understand is how much information there is in that 9-film series that you will not find anywhere else unless they took my info and put it out after those films came out. You'll never find it. All that info, I didn't copy what other people said. That's all my original work in that film. All my own original research and dot connecting. That's purely my skills. Most people just take what other people said and they base their whole career on that. I'm the person people base their whole careers on. I'm the one, I'm the researcher. I've been stolen for more times than anybody. 97 films, been on the air 19 years. The suppression is real and the blacklisting is real, and of course, I just need an opportunity. That's why this Leon Bridges thing is, all it would take, if Leon Bridges mentioned my name once in an interview, I'd blow up. Yeah. So, I just pray for that. So thank you, Leon. You're the shit, man. There's stuff going on in Minnesota still. It's just such a... I can't believe... It's just so obvious what it is. Billions go missing in fraud, and then all of a sudden, just conveniently, there's protests against ICE, and ICE is the big enemy, and we're going to start shit and make a distraction, so we can distract away from coverage into this fraud and resources go elsewhere. It's just clearly obvious that's what's going on here. And the right-wing media has been saying a lot in the past week, repeating this mantra of, ICE was deporting people under Obama, but nobody was protesting then. Right, because they weren't being told that the president was Hitler, and people weren't being told to use their car as weapons against ICE agents. Can you imagine if the right wing would have pulled this shit during Obama? I mean, you want to talk about martial law, that would be the fucking appetizer. They would have put in place Project Megiddo or Operation Megiddo, whatever it was called. You know about Project Megiddo? Project Megiddo was a late 1990s plan concocted by the United States government in order to deal, this is word for word what it says in the document, in order to deal with Y2K conspiracy theorists and people who believe that the new world order is going to be brought in on Y2K. And this is what Alex Jones was telling people at that time. So they were going to round up patriots, gun owners, conspiracy theorists, and put them in FEMA camps until Y2K was over. They didn't end up doing it, but just the idea that they were talking about doing it. If the right wing had pulled the shit under Obama or Biden that the left is pulling now, they would have enacted the Insurrection Act. They would have, you saw how they freaked out about January 6th. They tried to claim that was an insurrection. No, this is an ongoing everyday thing where ICE agents are getting doxxed, and they're legally, people are forgetting here is that even if you hate President Trump, what ICE is doing is actually constitutionally legal. They are performing a task and a job that is 100% legal. Using your car as a battering ram, as a weapon against ICE, as Democrats have told their followers to do. That's what the whole thing about the shooting, the woman that got shot and all that. It's irrelevant whether the cop used excessive force or not, because he clearly got hit and had documented injuries from being hit by this woman already. And there were already cases of people using their cars to run over ICE agents. Now, if no one had used their car to run over ICE agents and it wasn't a marching order from the Democratic Party, and this guy shot this woman, okay. Maybe it was excessive. The fact is, this guy knew full well that other ICE agents have already been ran over and continue to get ran over and rammed by cars because Democrats are telling their followers to do it. And it's all just so Tampon Tim and the other cunt, Ilhan Omar, but they need to, listen, Ilhan Omar, Gavin Newsom, Kamala, Joe Biden, fucking Tampon Tim, all of them. I say we bring back the Benedict Arnold days. Remember what they did to Benedict Arnold? What do you do to a traitor? You take them out back and you shoot them in the fucking head. That's what you do to a traitor. And these motherfuckers are traitors and should be treated as such. And that's my major criticism of Donald Trump. He's not doing enough. Quit fucking around with Iran and Venezuela and crush these fucking Democrats. We got a war in this country going on right now, right here, Trump. These radicalized left-wing jihadists, which is what they are, need to be dealt with swiftly and decisively, or it's only going to get worse. You heard it here first. People have been asking me about Greenland. Why, what's up with Trump? Oh, he's going to invade Greenland. He's not going to invade Greenland. The only reason why he's so interested in Greenland is because of advances in technology and weapons technology. Both ours and theirs. Theirs being the bad guy, whoever, Russia, China, whoever. Russia has these hypersonic missiles now, hypersonic nuclear missiles, not just hypersonic missiles. And Trump wants Greenland took place. You know, like remember history, or Israel has the Iron Dome or something. Trump's got the Golden Dome. Of course, it's got to be golden, right? Part of this Golden Dome missile defense technology, it requires them to have a closer proximity to Russia. Greenland's the best option. Yeah, so no matter what you hear about any of this shit, just remember that. It is for a good reason. It's not just Trump being Trump. It is for a good reason. He does have the best intentions for what he's trying to do, but I don't know. I heard the Krauts sent 30 fucking Germans over there. What are y'all sending fucking Krauts for? What are the Krauts going to do? What already whooped the Krauts' ass once. What are 30 Krauts going to do in Greenland? Who are you going to defend with that? A kid's soccer team? You have 2% Delta Force in there and you're done in 2 minutes. I don't think 30 Krauts do. I don't think it would take 2 minutes for Special Forces to take out 30 Krauts. Silly Krauts. Tracer for kids. Wow, I heard something epic today. So, you know, I was talking about when Rob Reiner died, I was talking about how I thought it was kind of cool that Spinal Tap was his first movie he ever made and his last. You know, the sequel came out last year. I went and saw it. That was great, of course. Well, a few months ago, before Rob Reiner died, Spinal Tap was allowed to play the first ever concert. No other band, no other group, nothing. Nobody's ever been allowed to play music at Stonehenge. And I always wanted to do it because I've always been, my dream was to go there with an acoustic guitar just to hear the frequencies that Stonehenge makes, the psychoacoustic energy and all that stuff. Spinal Tap was allowed to the first band ever, only band ever, was allowed to play a real concert at Stonehenge, and they filmed it, and it's coming out in theaters next month, and that's it. No more Spinal Tap. Wow. It's incredible, man. This fucking fake fictional band made up of actors is one of the greatest bands of all time. It's fucking hilarious. But what an epic way to go out, to play your final show at the actual Stonehenge, the only band ever allowed to do it, and then put it out as a film. That's fucking epic. I gotta give it to him on that one. That is fucking epic. You know, as you all know, since 2020 I've been suffering from health problems. 2020 I was hospitalized with heart failure. Was okay and did okay until 2024. Heart failure again, was hospitalized for that. And in 2024, they, same thing they told me in 2020, because I really made changes in 2020. After I was in 2020, I, started eating better, taking better care of myself, and didn't have any problems for 4 years. And then in 2024, he came back and I was hospitalized again. And again, they were asking me then, why are you eating so much? You gotta lower your sodium intake. And I'll be like, oh, I did. You guys told me not to do more than 1,500 milligrams a day. They're like, yeah, that sounds right. And I'm like, well, I was keeping it under 1,000. the fuck are you talking about? And then, well, the problem was in 2000. What led to the 2024 thing? I think it says in 2023, because that was when we were in the Joe Biden inflation economy, and things started getting really bad for us around that time. So I had to start eating crappier food. You guys probably remember 2023. I had, maybe in 2024, I had food poisoning because I ate Burger King. I hadn't eaten in years, but it was all I could afford. I hadn't eaten in days, and the only money I got, that's all I could buy. So I got buy one, get one free double cheeseburgers at Burger King, and then I was sick for a week. So I started having to eat crappier food, and I think that caused my sodium levels to go up. And then, of course, November 2025, I had 2 strokes, multiple strokes, and heart failure again. And same thing. But I knew this time, in the year between the last time I was in the hospital in 2024, I had changed my diet again. But it seems no matter how much I take care of myself, they're still telling me salt and sugar is a problem when I'm not consuming any of either one. I don't consume any sugar. Yeah, but if you eat pasta or you have a sandwich, there's sugar in that bread. Okay. Or you drink apple juice, there's sugar in that. Okay. Then in 2024, they told me I should never take non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. Well, I always took an aspirin every day, because I always heard that was a good thing to do. And they were like, what? You take an aspirin? You should never be taking aspirin if you have heart failure. I said, okay. And they actually gave me a prescription for Tylenol when they gave me my medicine when I checked out. I don't need a prescription for Tylenol. I buy fucking Tylenol myself. Get the fuck out of here. Why would you give me a prescription of that? Because they wanted to ensure I wasn't taking the aspirin. Then 2025, when I was in there, they gave me a chewable aspirin, and they said I need to start taking a chewable aspirin every day. And I said, wait a minute. I was in here last year, and you guys told me I should never be taking aspirins, and I told the doctors that I was taking a daily aspirin. At that point, they called me an idiot. You don't need to make up your fucking mind. And then you know what they did? They laughed at me. Oh yeah, no heart doctor would have told you not to take aspirin. Well, that may be so, but they did when I was here in Parkland Hospital last year. Y'all told me not to take aspirin and treated me like an idiot when I told you that I did. So guess what I'm on now, folks? A chewable aspirin, a baby aspirin, 1 a day. Yeah, prescribed by the doctor. After I had the stroke. Guess what, though? I figured it out. I figured out the problem, the problem with my health problems and the problem with all of our health problems. And I'm here to tell you right now, unless we change one major thing, all this RFK Jr. food shit ain't going to matter to a hill of beans. Because you hear a lot of talk about the obesity epidemic in America and the American diet, and it's crap, and we eat crap, and we just changed the food and we had real food, that we'd be fine. Nope. That's only half the problem. I finally figured it out, guys. Food, salt and sugar, while I should still continue to stay away from, is not my problem. Guess what it is? I sure as fuck don't drink the fucking tap water. Well, a while back, a year or so ago, I got a water filter pitcher. Makes the water alkaline. Alkaline water is good, right? Turns out, that it just changes the pH by adding sodium chloride to the water. In fact, sodium chloride is in all bottled waters. Every brand. Folks, sodium chloride is salt. It's baking soda. That's why I was diagnosed with kidney disease in 2024. Miraculously, somehow it went away by the time I was in the hospital again in 2025. All the kidney, heart problems, all that shit, folks, it's coming from the water, not the food. See, I'm dying right now. No, I switched immediately to distilled water. You know that bullshit they tell you about, oh, distilled water doesn't have minerals. You got to have the minerals and electrolytes. You know what minerals and electrolytes we're living in the real life idiocracy? You know what they are? You know what minerals and electrolytes it's code for? Salt! Now, if you're sweating like a slave in Devo's pitching coop every fucking day, you have a strenuous work activity or you work out a lot, regular bottled water with the sodium chloride in it is going to do you okay. It'll replenish you. But if you're like the average American, sedentary lifestyle, 8 hours a day at a desk, for me, 16, 18 hours at a desk, not a lot of exercise, not a lot of activity, not a lot of cardio in there, combined with the American diet. Do you know what Chick-fil-A, a 12-count Chick-fil-A nugget has as much salt as a Big Mac meal at McDonald's? Yet people tout Chick-fil-A as some sort of healthy option. It's not. Sodium and salt is what's killing us, folks, and they're not talking about it. They're putting salt in our water, folks, and no one is talking about it. That's the root cause of all this illness. Kidney problems, heart problems. Because when the salt on its own in the water, sodium chloride, is okay. When you combine it, it's a force multiplier. When you combine the force multiplication effect of the salt in the water with the salt in the American diet, then that's where heart and kidney issues come from. I got a prediction. Now, I could be wrong and I could die tomorrow, but I don't think so. Watch. Now that I know this and I've switched over to drinking only distilled water, I bet you I don't go to the hospital this year like I have the last 2 years. I bet I don't. Because I could not place how my kidneys could be so ravaged from salt intake, and I'd get swell, I'd get the edema. I mean, I'm still on diuretics right now. I have to piss here in the next 5 minutes, I'm sure. What do diuretics do? They remove salt. Well, why am I swollen with water and full of salt? I haven't been eating any salty foods. Well, clearly you have, or you wouldn't be here in the ICU, Mr. Reeves. That's all they did was blame it on, every time I've been in the hospital, when I asked them, well, how'd this happen? Oh, you eat shit, salty foods. That's all they would tell me. That's not it. Of course, they're lying to us, folks, in order to get us in those hospitals. The water's the problem. They're putting salt in the water for quote-unquote flavor or for minerals, which you don't really need. You can get from multivitamin without the salt. I want to scream this from the fucking rooftops. I'm on fire about this. I want to make a movie about it. This is the number one issue for me now. We got to get the awareness up on this. We got awareness up on this fast. It's the fucking water, folks. They're putting salt in the water. Remember in Idiocracy? They couldn't get the plants to grow because they were spraying it with Brondo, their version of Gatorade. It's got electrolytes. Electrolytes are just salt. And they went out, finally they figured out, oh, y'all are putting salt on these plants, none of the plants will grow. Well, they're doing the same thing to us, folks. It's in the bottled water. Go look at a Coke, a Diet Coke, any Coke product. And go look how much salt is in the average Coke product. Sodium. Folks, if you go to Chick-fil-A, again, who touts themselves as a healthy option in fast food. Folks, they put salt in the lemonade at Chick-fil-A. Lemonade has salt in it. That's what's killing us. You have all this RFK Junior Food Pyramid shit all you want. But as long as what you're consuming is full of salt, and then the water you drink, even if you choose to drink water and don't drink soda, guess what? You're getting salt. You watch. I won't be in the hospital this year. I don't eat any food with salt or sugar. And finally now, I know I'm not drinking water with any salt. Full distilled all the way out, all the way home. That's it for me from now on. And I looked it up and did research on it. Sure enough. Sodium chloride, guess what it does? I researched extensively today. All the health problems I've had, heart failure, stroke, kidney failure, kidney disease, all that stuff. Those are contributing ailments from sodium chloride. It says it. It's right there. You can go look it up yourself. Then start paying attention to how many things have sodium chloride in it. Again, it's in every water brand that isn't distilled. And oftentimes they use words like electrolytes or minerals. Really, that's just code for sodium chloride. It's the water, folks. And I'm not talking about the water that comes out of your crap tap, with the fluoride and shit in it. I'm talking about even the filter shit that you get that's supposed to be better than what comes out of the tap, but it has added salt in it. And it just makes you thirstier and makes you drink more of it. Which is exactly what my problem was. I was drinking alkaline water and I thought I was being healthy. No. The salt was killing me. And I would never have thought, and who would, because we're not taught that in school, I would never in a million years have thought, I would have thought it would have been something I ate. Because that's what the doctors were telling me. It's just your diet, your diet, your diet, your diet. No. It's not, it's the water. Or drink lots of water. That's the other sick joke. No matter what you have, the doctors always tell you, drink lots of water now. Even if you're drinking lots of water and trying to take care of yourself, you know what you're doing? You're killing your heart and your kidneys with the salt. I'm telling you, this is my new hot button issue now. We gotta wake up the masses to this. If we don't, nothing's going to change. All the RFK Jr. pyramid changes and all this bullshit, Yes, glyphosate and getting all that shit out of the food is important too. But we're still just putting the cart before the horse if we don't address this salt. It's baking soda. Baking soda is in all of our bottled water. Why? It makes you thirstier. It makes you drink more. And thereby you consume more. I'm here to tell you, folks, these water companies putting sodium chloride in their water is as bad as addictive chemicals in food and bad as addictive chemicals in cigarettes. It's just as toxic as any of those things, and yet nobody's talking about it. Well, I am. Yeah, this is going to be my big button issue now. Sodium chloride. Alright, guys. Spellcasters 9 film series. You can find all the links to if you're a new listener. I'll put links in the comment section of this video. How you can support our work too. We rely, so we don't have advertising, we don't have sponsors, we don't have commercials. You notice how you don't have to hear me do an ad read or you have to sit through a commercial. That's because we are 100% funded by you, the listener. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/ReevesRadio. And you can donate by using PayPal, dayglow76@yahoo.com. That's dayglow76@yahoo.com. Reeves Radio, all lowercase, Reeves Radio on the Cash App. Capital J Josh dash capital R Reeves dash 61 on Venmo 7894. If it asks you for the last 4 digits of my phone number on Venmo. In the download store, you can find all the links in the comment section of this or any of my videos. I've made 97 films. Go buy some. And as I was saying about the Spellcaster, there's information in those films you won't ever find anywhere else. Truly. We got to raise $100 by Tuesday so I'm not homeless. Help however you can. I love you guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.